So you hand over your hard-earned money to a financial advisor. What's actually stopping them from just looking out for themselves? Well, today, we're pulling back the curtain on the powerful, often invisible set of rules designed to make sure the answer is a whole lot. Let's break it all down.
This really is the big question, isn't it? I mean, in a world full of confusing jargon and, let's be honest, competing interests, it is so easy to feel completely lost. But the good news is, you're not on your own here. There's an entire regulatory system built specifically to help you answer this question with real confidence.
All right, so where do we even start? Well, the first thing you've got to understand is that the system doesn't see every investor as the same. The level of protection you get, it all depends on which box you tick.
Now, I know what you might be thinking. That sounds a little unfair, right? But it's actually the complete opposite. Think of it this way. You wouldn't give a student driver the keys to a Formula One race car. The same idea applies here. The entire system is designed to shield everyday investors from super complex, high-risk stuff that's really only meant for seasoned pros who know exactly what they're getting into. And this visual, it just lays it out perfectly. It's a simple inverse relationship. So if you're what the industry calls a retail investor, and hey, that's most of us, right? People saving for retirement, for our kids' education, you get the absolute maximum level of protection. But on the flip side, professional clients, like big institutions, they have the know-how to navigate riskier waters, so they get fewer safeguards, but way more access to those complex products.
Okay, so once the system knows who you are, what's the real core of your relationship with an advisor? Well, it all comes down to one critical, legally binding promise.
The magic word here is fiduciary. And this is not just some handshake agreement. It's a really powerful legal bond. You can think of it like the relationship you have with your doctor. You put your complete trust in their expertise, and in return, they have a legal and ethical duty to act in your best interest and yours alone.
And this isn't just some vague, fluffy guideline. Regulators are putting real teeth behind this idea. The US, for example, has something called Regulation Best Interest. I mean, just look at the wording here. It's totally unambiguous. Their financial interests cannot come before yours. End of story.
So these 4 points, this is the best interest rule in action. It means they have to proactively avoid any conflicts of interest, like, pushing a product just because it pays them a higher commission. It means they can't use the private information you give them for their own gain. It's a comprehensive shield designed for one reason, to put you first.
But how does an advisor actually prove they're acting in your best interest? It's not just about making a promise. It all starts with a process that, honestly, can feel like a really deep personal investigation.
If you've ever been through this, you know the feeling. They ask about everything, your job, your family, even your health, and it can feel incredibly invasive. But there's a crucial reason for every single one of those questions. It isn't them being nosy. It's a mandatory part of the whole process.
Yep, it's called the Know Your Client or KYC process. And it's not optional for them. It's a strict regulatory requirement. I mean, think about it. How can someone possibly give you advice that's in your best interest if they don't actually know your full story? This fact-finding mission is the bedrock that makes personalized, suitable advice even possible.
And when we say comprehensive, we really mean it. Just look at this checklist. It goes way beyond just your income. Why do they need to know about your health? Well, because it affects your investment timeline. Why your family? Because your obligations to them are a huge part of your financial goals. Every single piece of this puzzle is essential to building a complete picture of your financial life.
Okay, now what's really interesting here is just how deep the details go. It's not just about knowing you have a bank account. The advisor needs to know the interest rate and if there are any penalties. It's not enough to know you own a fund. They need to know the specific share class and any exit fees. This level of detail is absolutely essential for them to make recommendations that truly fit your situation.
So what happens with all this deeply personal data? Well, it doesn't just sit in a folder somewhere collecting dust. It becomes the raw material for a structured, actionable plan. And this is where we see the official 6-step playbook come to life.
This visual from the Financial Planning Standards Board shows the key principle perfectly. See, financial planning is not a set it and forget it kind of thing. It's a living, breathing cycle. Your life changes, right? You get a new job, you have a child, you get closer to retirement, and your plan has to adapt right along with you.
So we've already touched on steps 1 and 2. That's building the relationship and gathering all your data. The real heavy lifting for the advisor happens in step 3, the analysis. But maybe the most important step for you, the client, is step 6, the review. This is where the plan gets tested against reality. Is it still working? Have your goals shifted? This last step is what turns it from a one-off report into a genuine, ongoing partnership.
So, when you look at it all together, it starts to become crystal clear. The investor tiers, that fiduciary duty, this whole 6-step process, they aren't separate ideas. They're like interlocking gears. Together, they form a single system designed to do one thing: create a trustworthy partnership where your interests are always the top priority.
At the end of the day, this entire system is built to protect you. But, it works best when you're an active participant. Now that you know the rules of the game, the duties your advisor owes you, and the process they absolutely must follow, you're empowered. You can make sure it's all working for you.